friends, it's Nancy. It's Thursday night. I'm just going to do a little craft along with me, or maybe sort of a tutorial. Not really, but kind of. Um, so I made these little journal cards, and it didn't take anything fancy, so I'm just going to show you how that all came together. Sorry, just reaching for paper. So I had this field guide that I've torn apart. And there's lots of pages in here, but it's a paperback, so the pages aren't sewn in, they're glued in, so I can't get double pages out, I can only get single. And that's a pain. But I've took out some yellow ones. They're divided up by color, so like there's the yellow ones, and there's blue ones, and there's pink ones. So I got out some yellow ones because I happen to have a bunch of these tab dividers. I think I've probably mentioned a million times that I work in a law office. So one of our lawyers retired back in February, and when I cleaned out his office, I tore out anything I could save. So tab folders, file folders, whatever I could find, I kept. Anyway, so it has kind of a plasticky edge. I cut that off, and I cut this off, and trimmed this page square. So square, it's round about 4 inches by 6 1/8. So I cut a piece of the tab page divider. I cut it a 1/4 inch either side bigger. So this was 4 by 6 1/8. So I cut these cards 4 1/4 by 6 3/8. One of the things that I didn't like about the page is they have a little pink map down there that shows you where you would find that particular flower. Didn't like that. Also, I have to pick which one I like better. I think I like this side better, and I guess you can find that everywhere. So in order to sort of camouflage that, I layered up some tea-dyed paper doily and some stamps. So I pulled out some stamps, and I chose some sort of autumnal colored stamps. But let's just see how this all works. So doilies can sometimes be a real pain. So I just, I want to sort of position it so there's a maximum number of flowers covering that little map. So I'm just going to lightly put some glue stick there, and then plop that on top. We're going to cover a lot of that, so it's not a big deal. Just going to trim that off. Next thing is I'm just going to use a little glue stick. You don't have to glue it completely because I'm going to be stitching on it, but if you're not sewing, then you're going to want to make sure you have glue from edge to edge to edge to edge. And then more or less center it on there. Okay. So in order to make this tab, I have a tab punch. I also have a die cutter, a die that cuts these kinds of tabs. But in order to make this kind of tab, I've used, and this again I stole from the lawyer's office. This was like an accordion brief file thing, and these were some of the inside guts of that. So I've got my scoreboard, and I'm just going to score it at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and I'll trim that down. Where my knife at? Oh my goodness. I just had it. I seriously just had it. And now I've just had it. Oh well, I'll use my X-Acto this time. It's probably on the floor or something ridiculous. Okay, now I can fold it on the score line. Okay, so I took the plastic thing off so I can see what I'm doing. So you have to get it jammed down in here, and sorry, I want to hold this close enough so you can see what I'm doing. So you want to get it positioned so that the folded edge is just under that top, and then it's double-sided. And sometimes it takes some wiggling. And I'm not sure why. Oh goodness. So I was just talking to my oldest son and his wife on the phone. He had texted me and said, I have put in for leave from the 12th of September to something, the 19th or something, I don't know. And I texted him back and I said, why? That's a week later than I'm coming out to visit. I'm coming on the 6th. So a little while later the phone rings and it's his wife, and she says, I thought you said you were coming out the week after Labor Day. Well, then I panicked because I thought, yeah, that's how I got it figured out. So I pulled up the calendar and I said, Labor Day's on the 2nd of September. Are you sure? I said, no, but yeah. So he's going to see if he can try to get leave for that date instead of the week after. He's not very happy about it. Very much like his mother. Doesn't like things to be messed up. Okay, so I will be putting this here. So in case you're wondering what that was all about, I'm just wondering now, did I even tell you I was going out to Nova Scotia? Going out to Nova Scotia. I have flights booked for me and my youngest son. We leave on the 6th of September, so we're leaving like 6 o'clock in the morning on the Friday. And we rented a little cottage on the ocean, and we're just going to relax and kick back and have fun. So I got a little piece of cheesecloth. So I might trim some off later, but I'm just going to wrap it around there. Put on some liquid glue. position it just about there. In order to hold it, I'll put on this bulldog clip, and then I'm going to give this a little bit of time to dry before I run it through the machine. In the meantime, I can sort of pick out what I want to do. This has got a seal on it. I don't like that. I need something a little plainer. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. I got some that are truly orange. Ooh. Kind of like this red one. I think it's German. Okay, let's see what these orange ones look like, and then we'll make a decision. Oh, here's a brown one. You get tired of watching me fuss, don't you? I know I'd make me crazy. This one has little sailboats on it. I like that. So that's my first choice if nothing else really works. Here's an orange one and a brown one. Kind of like those. Or I can do two orange ones. I think I'm going to go with the two orange ones, and I'm just going to ink up the edge a little to muss it a bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Get the glue out. Cut my finger last night gutting a book. That was annoying. I was just sort of running my finger along the edge of the page to sort of knock off some old crusty glue because the pages, they were sewn together and then glued into the binding, so I just wanted to knock off some of the old glue. I can't believe it was so sharp that it cut me. Okay. There's that. Just going to ink around the edge. Okay, so I'll pause the video while I sew this because there's no good way for me to bring that machine over and give you a chance to see how I sew. So we'll just pause for a minute. Okay, so I've got it stitched, and I'll just show you what I'm going to do with these ends. So I'm going to pull the thread so that it's on, all 4 ends are on the back. And then I'll grab 2 and 2 and give it a double knot. It's too far away from my face so I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. And then I can trim it right down. So that was easy as pie. I hope you thought this was kind of interesting, and it's given you some ideas about how to use up some little book pages that you might have around. You know, you might not need to do that collage down there because your pages might be better than mine. But, you know, it's simple enough. It's just paper. And you've got a nice big journal space there. So, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you soon.